Good morning, Falcons. Happy Leap Year Day, also known as Toads and Tinfoil Hat Day. Today is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. I'm Caleb, and this is your view from the Falcon's Nest. If you want to help the music department, check out the flyers on walls throughout the school. A paddle auction for our musicians will be held a week from Saturday. Today is the final day of Black History Month, and our focus on Indiana stories about African Americans deviates from the norm a bit to focus on the story of an ardent abolitionist who came from right here in St. Joseph County and went on to become the Vice President of the United States. According to the History Museum in South Bend, Schuyler Colfax is undoubtedly the most notable political figure in the history of the St. Joseph River Valley. He is best known for his roles as Speaker of the House under President Abraham Lincoln and Vice President under President Ulysses S. Grant. Colfax was instrumental in many political achievements, including the passage of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery in the United States. Colfax was popular in his time, in demand across the country as a lecturer. His legacy lives on through dozens of counties, cities, and streets named in his honor across the United States. Showcasing Colfax, Speaker for Freedom, is the chair used by Schuyler Colfax when he was Speaker of the House during Lincoln's administration. When Colfax left office, members of Congress made a gift of the chair to him. Colfax brought the chair back to his South Bend home. The chair was given to the History Museum in 1949. Also on view is a gavel used in 1862 to call to order the First Confederate Congress in Richmond, Virginia. It was presented to Colfax at the seemingly wry suggestion of Abraham Lincoln, as the gavel would have been wielded by the Confederate Speaker of the House. It was likely acquired when Richmond was taken by Union forces in April 1865, thus signaling the end of the Civil War. The gavel was donated to the History Museum in 1949 by Schuyler Colfax's granddaughter. You can find out more about Colfax at the History Museum. Moving from history to health, in this week's installment of Health Minute, the importance of knowing how to perform CPR and the Heimlich maneuver were underscored again in South Bend. Channel 22 reports that a waitress at the original Pancake House saved the boy's life when he began choking on his food. Waitress Beth Tibbles sprang into action before a member of law enforcement, who was a customer, began heading for the boy. Tibbles, who had worked at the restaurant for more than a decade, saved a life for the second time. The first was in Upper New York State. While there are age requirements to learn healthcare skills, high school students can learn how to save a life, whether they want to be a lifeguard at a pool or beach, a first responder, or just because it's good to know, in case you're the only person around who can do it. One of John Glenn's faculty members, Mr. Birch, is certified as a CPR instructor. Learn how to perform CPR and the Heimlich maneuver in case you are called upon to save a friend, a relative, a neighbor, or even a complete stranger who will probably be forever grateful to you. And that's this week's Health Minute. Moving on, in today's Target 1600, on Wednesday, John Glenn Jr.'s will join thousands of others across the state in taking the SAT. That means we're now at less than a week to go. If you've procrastinated in preparing for it, here are some things you can do in this final week to prepare. Number 1, do a few practice SAT questions each day this week. Download real SAT practice questions for both test sections, evidence reading and writing, plus math, or a full-length practice SAT. Carve out 30 minutes each day and focus on 3 math questions, 3 reading questions, and 3 grammar questions. Exercise at least 30 minutes a day. Eat an extra helping of veggies or fruit at each meal this week. Here are some of the best foods for higher brain function and energy: blueberries, green tea, beans, nuts, apples, fish, and avocados. On Tuesday, collect all of the items you'll need in one place. Wake up 30 minutes early on test day. Wake up early to ensure that you have plenty of time to eat breakfast. Save your energy for the exam and have an easier morning. Eat a good breakfast the morning of the test. This is imperative. The SAT is a lot like a marathon, so eat up. Lack of food is frequently the culprit of lower than expected scores. No matter how you prepared, or didn't, you're going to take this test. No ifs, no ands, no buts. If you did a great job preparing, trust what you've learned. Test-taking techniques are not training wheels. They are the wheels. You won't go anywhere if you don't use them. You can do so after this exam. That is today's Target 1600, and that is all the main news we have. Now the weather with Nick.
Morning, Falcons. So in your Glen forecast out there right now, it is sunny with a current temperature of 23, a real feel of 20, and a good air quality. Now moving on to your 3-day forecast, Thursday is going to have a high of 42, low of 21, and sunny. Friday is going to have a high of 45, low of 29, and cloudy. And then Saturday is going to have a high of 57, low of 38, and partly sunny. That's all we have for weather. Now many for sports.
This week's rankings in the Tippecanoe Valley sectional are somewhat revealing in favor of Glen winning its Friday night game against Bremen. According to the power rankings, Glen's schedule is rated more difficult than Bremen's. What's called the Golden Mean ranks Glen 21 points higher than Bremen, ironically. Glen defeated Culver Academy, which ranked 29 places higher than Glen in that category. The statistics indicate that things are trending Glen's way, and if that's true tomorrow night, it will likely mean a rematch with Tippecanoe Valley for the tourney championship on Saturday. Remember, tomorrow night, you can help the Falcons get to the championship by showing up in Mentone at Tippy Valley. Basketball fans know that Iowa's Caitlin Clark is closing in on one of the all-time NCAA scoring records set by the late Pistol Pete Maravich of LSU. But many Indiana fans may not know that girls' basketball season that just ended had a major accomplishment. That all-time three-point record for boys and girls in Indiana was shattered by Olivia Nickerson of Twin Lakes. She set a new record in December with 364 three-pointers and added a few more to set a new state record. Now back to lunch with Nick.
So for your lunch today, we're going to be having pasta with meat sauce with a breadstick or a barbecue beef rib sandwich with sweet peas, a garden bar, and mixed fruit. That's all we have time for today, Falcons. Have an amazing day.